The moment my wife's wedding ring hit my cheek and dropped onto the hardwood floor, I realized I wasn't about to have an argument. I was about to lose something I didn't fully understand anymore. She didn't shout after that. She didn't explain. She just looked at me like I had already been replaced by a version of myself she no longer respected. "Tonight, I'm single," she said, and then she walked out. "My name is Adrian Whitmore. I live in Bellevue, Washington, in a quiet neighborhood where everything looks stable from the outside and nothing ever really is. I'm a senior product strategist at a tech firm. My wife, Elena Whitmore, works in luxury retail management. She understands people, how they present themselves, how they hide what they don't want seen. We had been married for 6 years, and for most of those years, we were not unhappy, but we were not paying attention either. The shift didn't come with a single moment. It came with small things. Delayed conversations, shorter replies, longer silences, the kind of changes you can ignore until they become patterns. And patterns have a way of becoming reality before you realize you're living inside them. That evening started like most others. I came home around 7:30 p.m. Elena was already there, but the house felt different. Not quiet, not tense, just disconnected. She was standing in the kitchen, scrolling through her phone. She didn't look up when I walked in. "Hey," I said. "Hey," she replied without looking at me. That was the first signal. Small, but clear. "How was your day?" I asked. "Busy," she said. Short answer. Closed tone. Second signal. I put my keys down and walked closer. "Everything okay?" I asked. That question landed differently. She looked up then, and her expression wasn't tired. It was sharp. "Why wouldn't it be?" she asked. "Just asking," I said calmly. She stared at me for a second longer than necessary, like she was deciding whether the conversation was worth having. Then she turned away again. "It's fine," she said. That word again. Fine. The most misleading word in any relationship. We moved through dinner quietly. Not hostile, just distant. Like two people sharing space instead of a life. After dinner, I tried again. "Elena," I said, "can we talk?" She sighed. Not loudly, but enough. "What now?" she asked. "Nothing dramatic," I said. "I just feel like something's been off." She laughed. A short, dry laugh. "You're just noticing that now?" she said. That sentence stayed in the air, because it suggested something I hadn't fully admitted. That whatever was happening hadn't started that day. Before we go further, pause for a moment. If your partner said something like that to you, would you push for answers right away? Or would you step back and try to understand what you missed? Because I did neither. I stayed in the moment. "What do you mean?" I asked. She turned toward me fully now. And for the first time that night, she was completely present. "Adrian," she said, "we've been drifting for months." The word drifting sounded gentle, but it didn't feel gentle. It felt final. "Then let's fix it," I said. The response came too quickly, too instinctively, because fixing something assumes both people still want it. She shook her head slowly. "It's not that simple," she said. "Why not?" I asked. "Because I don't feel the same anymore," she said. There it was. Clear, direct, uncomfortable, and honest. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't react immediately, because sometimes the truth lands so cleanly that it leaves no space for denial. "What changed?" I asked. She looked at me carefully. "Nothing changed," she said. That's the problem. I didn't fully understand that sentence in the moment, but I would later, because stability without growth can feel like stillness, and stillness, over time, can feel like absence. Then something shifted. Her posture, her tone, her patience. She reached up and pulled the ring off her finger. Slowly, deliberately. She looked at it for a second. Then she threw it. It hit my face before I could react. Not hard, but enough. Enough to make the moment real. "Tonight, I'm single," she said. The words were controlled, not emotional, which made them heavier. Then she grabbed her bag and walked out. No hosetaschen, no glance. Just gone. The door closed, and the silence that followed was louder than anything she had said. I stood there for a long time, not moving, not thinking clearly, just processing, because moments like that don't feel dramatic while they're happening. They feel precise, like something has finally aligned into place. Her phone stayed on the counter, face down. I didn't touch it, because whatever I needed to understand wasn't in that device. It was in everything leading up to that moment. Hours passed. The house stayed quiet. Midnight came. Then 1. Then 2. No messages. No calls. At some point, I sat down on the couch. The ring was still on the floor. I picked it up. It felt lighter than I expected. Or maybe I just hadn't realized how much weight it carried until that moment. Before we continue, I want you to think about this. If someone can remove a symbol of commitment that easily, was the commitment already gone, or did it disappear in that exact moment? Because that question mattered more than where she had gone. She came back at 3:47 a.m. I remember the exact time because I had been watching the clock without realizing it. The door opened quietly, different from how she had left. She walked in slowly, not guilty, not defensive, just calm. "You're still up," she said. "I wanted to see if you'd come back," I replied. She nodded. "I said I would," she said. That answer was strange, because leaving like that didn't feel like something you returned from casually. "Where did you go?" I asked. "Out," she said. "With who?" I asked. She looked at me, and for a second, something almost like hesitation appeared. "Friends," she said. The answer wasn't convincing, but it wasn't meant to be. It was a placeholder, a way to avoid the real conversation. "Elena," I said quietly, "what does tonight I'm single actually mean?" She didn't answer immediately. She walked past me and sat down, took a breath, then looked at me. "It means I needed to feel like I wasn't stuck," she said. The word "stuck" landed heavily, because it wasn't about anger. It was about perception. "You think this is being stuck?" I asked. "I think to stop feeling like something I chose," she said. That sentence explained more than anything else. Not betrayal, not rejection, just disconnection. "So what now?" I asked. She didn't respond right away, because that question requires a decision, and decisions reveal priorities. "I don't know," she said finally, and for the first time that night, I believed her, because uncertainty can be more honest than certainty. The next few days were quiet. We spoke, but carefully, measured, like two people navigating something fragile without knowing whether it should be repaired or released. There were no more dramatic moments, no more thrown objects, just conversations. Slow, uncomfortable, necessary. And through those conversations, something became clear. This wasn't about one night. It was about everything that had been left unaddressed before it. Before we end, I want to ask you something. Do you think Adrian should have fought harder in that moment, or was staying calm and listening the better choice? Because sometimes the instinct to fix things immediately can prevent you from understanding what actually broke. In the end, we didn't decide quickly, because some decisions shouldn't be rushed. They should be understood, even when that understanding leads somewhere you didn't expect.